4 minutes of footy, have a goal.
Yes, tremendous football. In fact, it looked as if one stage at the start of the second quarter, North might be in serious trouble, but they came back extremely well. Flying off again. Yep. See, Hardman and McQueen, 4 each in that quarter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Third quarter about to get underway at the grand final of season 1987 in statewide football, and North Hobart enjoying a 19-point advantage at half-time. The vital third term as umpire Kelly bounces the ball. Riley, but it's Elmer intercepting high. Litton will take this mark and a chance to boot the Magpies forward. Silly 15-metre penalty. Bradley Plain. Is it going to be 15? It has to be. Yes, umpire Kelly pulling him back on the mark.
So Litton's been a fine player for his team, picked up a lot of possessions, kicks a torpedo punt kick about 40 metres forward, super punch then by Gooley to Davies. Davies, a vacant forward line. Bradley Plain's going to mark it. He can have a bit of a run too. Pings away from about 45 metres from goal. Minor score.
One area of weakness of his game, John, isn't it?
Yes, his kicking is not consistent, Bradley Plain. You're not quite sure what he's going to do with the ball when he gets it.
On goal 3, in fact. Is that a free kick? Yes, says the umpire. The advantage rule paid as Klug comes off the backline. Shocking kick, and it's all Demons. Moore puts it in short. Nice hand pass. Back to Noble. He once again sprays it. And that was Michael Noble for a minor score, but if the opening seconds of the third term are an indication, the Demons are on fire. Look at that kick by Roland Curley.
The best part of 65 metres. Picked up by Riley. Riley to centre wing. Coleman's in front. He's down on the forward line. So that's one move that the Brains Trust for the Magpies have done. As Christensen chips towards the boundary line. Webster, picks it up easily. Oh, he's being held as well. Hasn't got the football. And that's right in front of the wet area. No doubt they're being lubricated well at the moment.
Well, that was unbelievable. He was held and the ball was not there, and he continued to hold him.
Riley once again the knockdown towards Lockley. Moore. And Riley diving on top of the footy. And by Kelly has no alternative to come in and bounce. 87 playing 66. 21 points the advantage to the Demons. And the Ryde Street stand just away to the right there. Full of expectancy at the moment. Umpire Kelly puts ball to turf. It's a low bounce. Riley tried to kick it off the ground, then followed it up. It shot out towards Litton. He's caught and penalised. Quite right. And it's Michael Noble again coming out with a free kick.
It's a good tackle then on Litton by Noble. Noble now towards Hardman. He's the flyer. Oh, went through his hands. Chance McQueen likes these impossible goals, but he's kicked it. He loves those goals, does Steve McQueen, and he made that one look easy. That's his 5th.
Yes, and he puts one finger up. That's not his first goal. That says, I am numero uno, and I think you've got to give him that title. We watch again. Hardman should have marked it, didn't, and look at McQueen. Bang onto the ball, straight onto his boot, as a good full forward should, and that's 5 goals to Steve McQueen, and that was his 11th kick. And I noticed that Mark Balcom has been given the job of watching Steve McQueen, and I don't know that Mark Balcom will be able to curb him.
The bounce, not good, but it favours Christensen. The Demons are alight. Balcom. Noble again. Michael Noble close to the boundary line, tackled by Curley. He didn't want it. Threw it over the boundary line. And umpire Smokey Dawson says, throw it in, thank you. 45 metres out from the Demon goals. Christensen, Maple, the thump on. Who's there? Hardman feeds it back to Noble. Took too long. Did he get boot to it? No. And it dribbles over the line. Whoa. 94 plays 66. And are the Demons alight? No, John Klug, you can't do that because the umpire hadn't.
You dream about these things, John Kenny, don't you?
Quick hands, but then he got caught. And I think it might have rolled out of his hands, actually. I don't think he got his boot to it.
In your dreams, you're always just being caught or unable to do that type of thing. And I think Noble will remember that for a long time as well.
You have strange dreams, Jim Wilkinson.
Ball out in open spaces. Chance now for the Magpies. Over to Webster. Webster long to the forward line. The flyer was Fletcher. He got the hand on it. The minor score. So back into the land of the living. The Magpies get another score on the board. 94 playing 67.
Only 5 minutes gone of the third term. Minton Connell brings the ball in. Finds Davies. Davies had a lot of possessions. Might just check on those. As he kicks it towards centre wing. And Balcom takes a good mark. Balcom right on the TFL footy to Ling. Back to Balcom. They're not getting anywhere, are they? It's now the pressure on the Magpies. Back into board to Ling. Breaks one tackle, then gets the hand pass away. Mansfield. Pearce, the flyer from behind, through his fingers. It's all the Demons in defence. Collins paddles it towards the boundary line. Bowden, does he keep it in? Towards Pearce. Gourley steps over his teammate Matthewson. Is caught. Finally taken away by Perry. The high kick towards centre wing. Could find Bush and does.
Good courage then from Bush. Kept his eyes on the football and he was running the same way as the footy. Now he plays on. Kicks down to the half-forward line. Plain didn't give it to him at all well. A mark taken by Webster.
I was talking before about Davies. 12 kicks, 4 marks, 2 hand passes. Not bad stats.
Been well
5.5 minutes gone into the third term.
Across the centre, Rod, with Elmer and also Davies. So they're getting it away from that centre well, the Demons.
Andy Lovell should have got the free kick.
Yes, John Kenny and I agree. 8th wonder of the world to Linton. He's caught. Play on the call. Consistency at least from the umpires. Linton does it well. The long bomb in the Pearce direction. Minton Connell the fist. Ling the rover. He gets bundled out of the way by Elmer. Thank you very much. This mad scramble.
And Danny Ling got Elmer back too. Yes, Michael Elmer puts a hand up and says, "Did you see that, ump?" I don't think the umpire did. Then he ruffles his head, so it's 1-1, and Michael Elmer reckons that's fair enough.
In the deciding set yet to be played.
So starting to hot up a bit here at North Hobart as the Suns also being kind on the game. Chance now, up in the air goes the footy. The Demons. Bush squirts it out now to College. Does it well to the centre. Christensen one-hander nearly. Well, continued on though with a fine knock on to Davies. Grace has a lot of pace. The odd-shaped footy though won out because it bounced the wrong way for Grace, who thought it was going to continue on in front of him. It didn't, and there's a Glenorchy player down, and look at that crowd engrossed in the game of footy here at North Hobart. 94 playing 67 at the 7-minute mark.
Centre wing position. Grace the hand pass towards Linton. Super onto the left boot, and Riley looks as though he's coming off the ground with a head injury.
I didn't see what happened, but he was down on the ground.
A collision with Christensen. When Christensen did that good work. Meanwhile, plays are going on the far side of the ground, more over the ball. Magpies appealing for the free kick, and they're going to get it. Yes, here comes Riley off the ground, and
I say he's got a badly cut forehead, I would think.
You can see the blood dribbling down there, and that's bad luck for the Magpies because he was a steady influence on the Magpie game. Meanwhile, College coming off of the half-back line. Curley and Devine. Devine the thump over the back, but who's at home? Only Balcom. Goes wide towards Shade, who gets it back inboard towards Curley. Down onto the ground, dived on, and that's a poor decision. He was sat on in the middle of his back, and Bush comes out with a free kick.
I agree with you for the second time, Rod Gilder.
Bush now over to Davies. Davies from the 40-metre mark. He's got a lot of kicks. That kick's weighted well to Hardman. And Hardman stood and took really a fairly simple mark. McQueen's limping. Getting the points from Jay Kenny and Kilner. Like a hawk onto a sick chook. They can spot anything. And they've spotted the limping McQueen. Here's Hardman though. He's not limping. After a magnificent second quarter when he kicked 4 goals. He's got 5 to date. Now fires away from about 10 metres away and kicks his 6th. He's played a fine game at full forward, and the Demons looking pretty good. at the 9.5-minute mark.
Yes, and Darren Davies, and a beautifully weighted kick. He did not have a shot for goal. There's no way in the world that was a shot. He saw Hardman was there, weighted it beautifully. And Peter Hardman, with whom I used to play tennis in Launceston as a young lad, and Steve McQueen is coming off the ground. My word, that's a blow for North Hobart. And he has hobbled off the ground. There he is now. And he's in all sorts of pain and agony. Look at him. Physiotherapist there to go and treat him.
I hope you weren't trying to refer that you were a boy at the same time as Peter Hardman.
No, Peter was the young fellow.
Oh, good. Thank you. Let's clarify that. Christensen and Shade. Christensen goes for it again and does it well. Perry burrowing through, misses the ball. Fletcher. The Magpies have to lift, and they have to lift now if they're going to have any chance in this game at all, because the Demons are looking good for their first flag since 1974. To Noble. High. Plain. V. Webster. The little nudge out. Curley close to the boundary line. He'll paddle it over. Don't worry about that one. He does, and we'll see a boundary throw in 45 metres around from the North Hobart goals. But time is running out for the Magpies. 10 minutes gone as McQueen going down the race. And that's not a good sight, is it, for the Demons? But with the position of this game and the way they're playing, it's fired in by Perry. Hardman again! You are killing them now, Peter Hardman. And against a man like Roland Curley, that is no mean feat.
I think one of the highest accolades you can give any player.
Huge?
No, I said highest deliberately. And look again, there's the mark. And Hardman, and that highest accolade you can give is when someone can play against and get on top of Roland Curley, then you know he has performed. 7 marks for Peter Hardman, and could very well be 7 goals.
Let's have a look. The goal umpire didn't have to do any work. That is Peter Hardman. You'll have to stop. I'm running out of space on the footy record. 11.5 minutes gone. Then look at that. Scoreline 106 to 67. 39 points, and that mark again, John, as you said, is just beautifully judged. And when you're hot, you're hot. Well, Peter Hartman's hot.
We said earlier about Peter that he's a confidence player, and his confidence, as I said earlier, I repeat, is sky high. The thing about him, talking about when he played tennis, he was a fiery young man on the tennis court, but my word, he's controlled himself well on the football field. And I was talking to his mum, who was down from Launceston yesterday, and she will be wrapped in his performance.
Old home week.
You got any Cheerios to send as well, John Kelly? No Cheerios. So it could be Cheerio Glenorchy, because North Hobart really starting to kick away at the moment. Kick down in the Hardman direction again. Oh, his mum would like that one. Great mark. Across now to Noble. Noble, long bomb from the 40-metre mark. Oh, bounces back. Luck's a fortune. And Bradley playing it, shot on you.
Oh, wow.
He's got 2 now.
I think Glenorchy might as well leave now. When that sort of thing happens, it's amazing, isn't it? When you're on top and you're rolling, everything seems to run for you. The bounce of the ball included.
Totally unbelievable, yes. I mean, Glenorchy supporters have got to ask, well, what else can happen? The play was good by Hardman, the kick not good, but look at this. Webster about to mark it, it bounces at right angles. Webster almost goes over the fence, and Plain comes in and kicks it off the ground. And don't smile too much, Bradley Plain, because that was sheer luck.
Well, I think that's just about the end of the penny section for the Magpies. I can't see them getting back up from here. They won't give up, though. Don't you mind about that. Benton Connell, Coleman with desperation. Coleman pulling it in underneath him. Finally trying to feed it out to Pearce, but it was thrown, says umpire Smokey Dawson. And you can't take a trick when you're down, can you? Nearly halfway through the 3rd term. Big statement to make, but gee, you can't see Glenorchy getting up from here, with the Magpies flying high as Mathewson takes the mark.
Yes, although Glenorchy have come back from many a worse position, so North have got to keep this pressure applied, as that mark was a fine one by Noble. The match is never won until the final siren. Noble, perfect pass into Hardman.
You might have wondered how Jim Wilkinson earned his name of 50 cents each way, Wilkinson.
I just want to ask the question. I cannot understand why Dean Coleman is stuck on the forward line, unless, of course, he's not 100% fit, and the selectors had no option but to move him up there, but it seems stupid to me.
Well, he's kicked 7 goals, Hardman. Lining up for what could be a 8th. It is. Well, he's having a field day. It's not. It's a behind. Crowd, please don't yell when it's not through the big opening.
I think
you
the
fool
Demons
me and many others.
The Demon supporters would yell at anything, wouldn't you? As there you see Dean Coleman. Let's see when he walks. Has he got a bit of a limp? Looks okay, isn't he? Gooley's gone with him.
Player he's playing on John Kenny. Gooley impresses me. He's a one-grab player, isn't he, Gooley?
Yes, he's done a top job.
Magpie streaming off defence into the centre of the ground. Linton waits, receives, hand passes wide. That's better play to Queen. Further to Pearce. Pearce, he should kick a goal from here. David Pearce on the left foot. Flat enough. We kick the ball. Should get another kick. Down the field. And look at that angle though. From Bush. Talking to the trainer. Look at the angle. Down the ground. But is that an advantage or a disadvantage? This is the Magpie supporters. They want Pearce to have the kick again. But it has to be down the ground. There's Andy Lovell in the forward pocket. Carpenter on the bench. About to come off. Takes one step. Delivers and goals. And to say that was a much needed goal for the Magpies, I think would be the understatement of the season. Third goal to Andy Lovell. 15 minutes gone of the third term.
Once again, Grace. And it seemed there that Pearce would get away. We'll see Linton gets the ball out to Queen. Queen ducks, dives. Pearce, who was at the 40-metre mark, runs, gets around Gooley, straightens up, but doesn't get onto it properly. Good attempt to smother, knocked the ball away. Was it a free kick? Jimmy Wilkinson saying no. Rod Kilner saying yes.
Has to be. The ball was about 5 metres clear of boot by the time he was hit.
He was launched by the time, or when he got the kick to that. If you were a player, you'd be taken off if you didn't do that. Obvious, not a free kick. Lucky I'm not an umpire though, they're always right, I'm not. Ball just down near one of the logos. The ground looking resplendent though, isn't it, with the North Hobart logo. So too the Magpie one and the TFL one in the middle. Great day here. TFL Grand Final Day 87. Here goes Plain. False landing though. Chance now for Webster. Comes away cleanly to Queen. Shrugs the tackle. Back to Hardman. Over his shoulder to Christensen. Intercepted well by Styles. And now Mansfield chips the short pass.
He's been quiet, hasn't he?
McQueen back on, I'd say. It was a good decision by the North Hobart Brains Trust, John. Get him off, have a look at it, and bring him back onto the ground.
I know the physiotherapist went straight round with him into the rooms, obviously checked, and they reckon must reckon he's okay to come back on if needed.
Yes, I'd like to... Mansfield had a very quiet day on centre wing, hasn't he? Collis, Coleman. Good work by Mathewson, sees it over the boundary line.
I think Jimmy Wilkinson's suggesting quietly as McQueen's about to come on, they might want to take a swab, but I didn't think you'd make such a comment like that, Jim Wilkinson.
Well, he didn't make it, he sort of...
he gestured
it. One helmet off in Noy and one helmet back on in McQueen. Mansfield, horrible day. 5 kicks so far for Matthew Mansfield. That's a quiet day.
Yes, it is, because in other finals games he's played well.
Look at that crowd in the Kazali stand. They've loved every minute of the game. Perhaps Glenorchy supporters a little bit on the edge of their seats at the moment. Great work from Grace. Centres it, but who's at home? Oh, North Hobart spoil each other. Comes out towards Pearce. Now Coleman. Coleman the hand pass over the top. Here's a go. Good defensive work by the Demons. Great defensive work. Gooley the hand pass out. Clune caught and should be penalised. And isn't. Very lenient as umpire Kelly. That's about the second occasion that he's done that.
Yes, the second tackle the ball was held to him, but I emphasise that was the second tackle. And I think because it was the second tackle, look here, we'll see it again. There's Klug, grabbed, and then grabbed again. Very lucky not to be penalised.
You wouldn't want to be an umpire with us sitting here, would you? Pearce, cock one high. Kelly saw that one. It's the free kick. And it's going to David Pearce. He's down. I think he... Popped it in the windpipe by the looks of things.
He's certainly got one high.
He's a bit groggy getting to his feet.
David Pearce, who kicked 4 goals in the first quarter, and really was on top of Simon Minton-Connell. I suggested Minton-Connell should be moved. North Hobart Brains Trust didn't do it, and they proved to be right again.
Still, he hasn't had the ball delivered to him
not like
effectively in that first quarter.
No, and that was the difference, because the Glenorchy players further upfield were looking for him, but fortunately David Pearce is up on his feet and ready to have his shot at goal.
And number 1 member of the David Pearce fan club, Rod Kilner, says he can kick it from 20 metres out. He does him proud, right through the middle. And he came back well then, as Rod mentioned. 4 goals in the first quarter when he really fired. and then the ball not delivered too well in the second quarter. He's coming back into the action now, though, as Shade comes off, and Pearce has 5 to his name. So it's a good effort in the grand final.
So that's his third kick since quarter time, says statistician Jeremy Oliver. So has been quiet. And I think Jim suggested that Minton Connell might alter his tactics. I think he has, and he's done it very successfully. Devine, the hand pass. Here they go again. Noble, he's been a winner since he came on the ground. McQueen, dispossessed, recovers, pressured from the impossible angle. And out of bounds on the full. And he's still got a little bit of a hobble up, hasn't he?
Yes, but it's important for North that he be out there, not only because of his performance, but just psychologically that McQueen's on that forward line.
Kick out from Carpenter, looking to Klug. Oh, up goes Maple. Bowden ferreting on the ground. Over the line.
And once again, the desperation of Darren Perry as he threw himself on his opponent's boot to smother the ball.
Queen in front. Chance now, though, for Maple. High in the air goes the kick. Too much left, however. Over the line on the full as Maple trots back to his position. He's done a fairly good job too today on minding John Klug.
Here goes Curley. Look at Plain, mow him down, but Curley has the time to get it nicely inboard to Lovell. He backs himself for pace and pays the penalty. Plain, who's come all the way up the ground. Well done, Bradley Plain. Gathers the ball in, tries to have a bounce and undoes it. It's almost scooped over by Sutton. And it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Well, of course, you told Bradley Plain he'd done good things. What happens?
Yes, they always do that, don't they? Klein and Queen. Queen wants to pluck it in out of the air. Shot across to College, to Elmer. Now to Perry, to Moore. Wide in front of that Ryde Street stand, which would be a happy place at the moment. Shot back to Maple, well shepherded. Over the top he goes, towards McQueen. McQueen traps it, then gets caught. Then players diving on top of the football. Michael Noble in there. Devine threads it out to McQueen. Davies in short. Darren Davies stands his ground and takes a fine mark.
And full credit to Michael Noble then. He was the man, and I know sometimes people go crook when commentators talk about getting the hard ball. Well, what we mean by the hard ball is going in where there's a scrimmage and putting your body in and taking the risk, and that's what Noble did.
Darren Davies has kicked a goal. Can he make it two? Not with a kick like that, they say. A minor score, 1-1 to Darren Davies, but as the quarter winds on, 22 minutes nearly gone, and I would say that 35-point lead, and that's the 14th kick to Darren Davies, is going to be too much for a Magpie machine that's had 3 very hard games on the trot to bring back.
Curley's kick, a long one again. Oh, good mark taken in the middle of the pack by Styles. The small man takes a big mark. Styles now goes round onto his left boot. Had enough time to get onto his preferred one, but then kicked badly. Well, this quarter has quietened down somewhat as that North Hobart stand festooned with balloons and streamers. There it is there in your screen. And they'd be happy about the result to date. 114 playing 79. Lytton trying to change that scoreline. Kicks nearly to the centre. Oh, round the neck. The guillotine then was applied.
Play on.
By Ilmer. And he's got the free kick.
Yeah, and look at Matthew Queen. He doesn't like it at all, and don't blame him.
Oh, dear. What have you got to do to get a free kick? Bang. Head nearly pulled off. And not seen by the umpire. Extraordinary. Collis to Linton. And towards Coleman. The Queen says, OK, I'll get them whichever way I can, and takes a fine mark in the centre of the ground. Ling's made a lead wide. That's ignored. Queen plays on, has a bounce. Gets around Spider Klein to Coleman. You're going to be caught. He is. Does he get rid of it? No. He's penalised. And Glenorchy can do naught right.
Away goes Perry. Up the tiered side of the ground with a 50-metre drop punt kick. There's Linton over the back. They were fighting hards, Gary Linton. Well, you saw that on your screen brilliantly. I'll let you decide. For mine, it was a fair decision. Mike Nobles to take the kick. Long bomb. Up goes Christensen, or is it Hardman from the front? It was Hardman. Davies, the impossible shot if it went through. Trying to emulate Maradona. He won't get a game of soccer, but I'd put him in my team any day. That's the footy team. Played a great game on centre wing. The minor score.
But he has, Jim. Been an excellent performance by the William Leach medal runner-up. He pipped by 1 vote. Roland Curley almost looks perplexed as he puts a long bomb of a torpedo into the centre of the ground. It's all north. Bush. Scramble kick. Linton dives on top of the football. Tries to get rid of it. Then drags it back. Then paddles it out. Playing off the carpet. Wide, and they're peppering the goals. The North Hobart, that's their 14th behind on the board. And they, this quarter, have kicked 4 goals 7 to 2 goals 1, which is a pretty fair indication of the monopoly that they've got on this game. And one would think on the flag as Webster takes the mark on half-back flank.
Kicks now to centre wing. Grace is over the back. He's got the run at the football now. Stops, lets a couple pass him. Now kicks long towards Pearce. Pearce a strong mark in front of Minton Connell. He's got strong hands, David Pearce. The one grab mark. Now gets around, plays on. He's got to do it all again though, I think, as the umpire had blown his whistle. And that's a pity, because Pearce wasn't he well balanced with that balk to get onto his left and then right boot.
Just moves so beautifully. He really is a complete footballer, David Pearce.
Well, second start, also a failure. Goes back, third time lucky, as the saying goes. He'll kick from right on the 40-metre mark. Torpedo punt kick from Pearce, getting the distance. Accuracy leaves it to be desired. A minor score. Well, 36 points in arrears. That's not a bad lead to North Hobart at this stage of the game.
I'm sure Gary Davison would be rapt to be that far in front. No, nearly a fine effort by Grace. He does it well. He recovers. It's going to fall short. Coleman. But Gourley, who's played an exceptional game on the back line, just taps it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yes, his stats mightn't be the best in North Hobart, perhaps David Gourley, but my word, he's been one of their best players.
Throw-in. Free kick going which way? Going North Hobart's way. It's going to Christensen. No, make that College. And Gourley 5 marks, 5 kicks, 4 marks, 7 handballs. So that's pretty impressive stats for a backman. Spider Klein will get it right in the end. And he plays on to Sutton, who puts it up towards centre wing.
Noble's in there, so too Moore. Handball, a quick one from Perry. Oh, quick thinking then. Perry across to Davies. Davies now sees Hardman leading. Perfect pass from Davies. 10 out of 10 then for vision and execution, and also the marking of Peter Hardman. 38 metres out. Hardman fires, going to the left. Well, one of his few blemishes, kicking for goal today. Not too happy about it either, but really he's put in a good effort. What's he kicked? 7 goals 2 to date. Make that 7-3. So a very good effort from Peter Hardman.
His 10th mark of the day. Roland Curley once again. That long bomb up towards centre wing, over the back. Nearly a mark to Lockley. Player on the call. Styles well tackled. Ball spills out towards Sutton. He goes up towards Hardman again. Mark number 11. Doing it easily.
Chris Carpenter on him now.
Perry can't gather it in. Now he does. Fires it back towards Hardman. Turns out. Gets it to Elmer. Tries to barge his way through. Should be penalised. It's a high tackle.
And that's exactly what Michael Elmer did to Matthew Queen, and Queen didn't get the free kick.
So Noy about to come back on the ground. The helmet and the captain in Devine coming off. That's interesting. There it is. It was undoubtedly a high tackle. And I retract the statement. He tried to barge his way through and was probably lucky to get it, in the sense that he should have got rid of the ball. The tackle was not a good one. Interesting move having the captain come off. Elmer. Michael Elmer. In he moves. Kicks into the man on the mark. What's going to happen? Perry. The magic man. Doesn't kick the hard goals. Perry does too. He pops it through. That's his second goal. And that's not a bad snap. 28.5 minutes gone off the third term. And 43 points the difference. And John Kenny, you can't realistically expect a battle-scarred Glenorchy to get back into this game. Well, with 1 quarter to go and perhaps a minute.
No, it's very difficult now. Well, I think we have to face up to facts and say it's impossible. But don't write Glenorchy off. There still is a quarter to go. The black and whites are never out of it until that final bell is gone.
Here goes the Demons. Minton Connell once more. towards Perry. Over the back. That's Webster putting his head down. Oh, in goes Christensen. Knocks it out to Plain. Plain goes long. Kick from Bradley Plains. Spot on. So number 3 for Bradley Plain. 3 goals, 3 his personal tally. And he's roved the packs very well indeed. And you'll just see how well he did it.
That wasn't a try, I'll go he.
Christensen, if he didn't throw it, he juggled it, which is the same thing. But Plain, as always, the opportunist. And Peter Hardman raises his fist in triumph on a very pleased, perhaps slightly tired Bradley Plain, adjusting just the tight-fitting shorts.
He won't be tired at 3 tomorrow morning if they keep going this way. I'm sure he'll be full of beans, vigour and life. Umpire Kelly putting ball to turf. Klein. Klug kicks it off the carpet and finds Lovell. Well, what could the Magpies do here? One can't possibly imagine. 49 points down, getting back into this game. Lovell plays on, gets around the man on his mark. Then well smothered by Noy. They can't do a thing right, the Magpies. Klein dispossessed. Noy puts Sutton in trouble, but he gets out of it well. Up to the half-forward line. Collis. Kenny Gather in the ball. Christensen threads it to Hartman, who can put it across to Perry. Goal number 20 coming up, Demons, and start unfurling the premiership banner as they scoot away now to, what's that make it, 55 points the lead? Yes, it does. Nearly 31 minutes gone of the third term. And congratulations, Demons, you've got it all parcelled up.
Yes, Darren Perry, one of their top players, determined and courageous, but full marks to Peter Hardman, because it was totally unselfish play by the big forward. He could have pinged away himself, gave it to Darren Perry, and the people smiling in the part of the crowd are the North Hobart supporters.
Noble puts it back into the Demon forward line. Curley takes the mark. Curley, the handball's a long one to Balcombe. Putting their players under pressure though. Noble chipping into Moore. Moore high to Hardman. He's in the box seat and he takes the mark. He was thinking then of playing on, but decided cleverly not to.
Yeah, and I think he was really, Jim, straight away looking for someone in a better position. Realised there wasn't anyone moving down the ground, so I said, well, I'll go back and have a shot myself.
Well, at North Hobart streamer you can see on the fellow leaning on the fence, waving in the breeze, and I think that'll flutter for quite a while too tonight if the Demons can continue with this lead. Minor score.
It's another long quarter, isn't it? 32 minutes nearly. 56 points is the margin. Let's work it out. 7 goals, 9 they've kicked. North Hobart to 2-2. This Carpenter takes the mark. So that's only 9 goals. It's an incredibly long quarter for that, isn't it? As Curley puts it out wide. It's all the Demons. Hardman again. It's his birthday. Plays on, but the siren sounds. And at 3/4 time, North Hobart go in with a 56-point lead. Well, welcome to viewers around Tasmania for our live coverage of the Cascade Bogues League Grand Final in statewide football. And North Hobart, as you can see, and as you have been seeing as we look at part of this huge crowd, 18,000 plus at North Hobart, and the Demons going in at 3/4 time with that 56-point lead. It was a magic first quarter by the Glenorchy side. They led by 18 points, 5-4 to 2-4 at quarter time. And then came the second term. And I think the second term was, John Kenny, perhaps the finest quarter of football that I've witnessed in season 1987.
Well, certainly I wouldn't argue with you, Rob. We had 16 goals kicked in that second quarter. And North Hobart, who trailed by 18 points at quarter time, as Rod said, turned that round into a 19-point advantage in their favour. And in the second quarter, North added 11-3, while Glenorchy kicked 5 goals too. And obviously, when everyone talks about this game tonight, tomorrow, next week, next year, it'll be that second quarter that everyone will say was the turning point. And the North Hobart young players have run on since that quarter, have got on top. And unfortunately for Glenorchy, they have found since quarter time they've been running second, they've been doing the following, and the Glenorchy legs are tired and have slowed, while North Hobart have gone from strength to strength.
Well, you can see the North Hobart camp there. Darren Davies has been a brilliant performer. We'll just get his stats off our statistician Jeremy Oliver in a minute. But he's done a fine job. Noble, Perry. They've had a team full of match winners. Bradley Plain, 16 kicks to Darren Davies, 6 marks and 2 handballs, and that's a fine performance in a grand final. And Jim Wilkinson, looking at the camp there, they're going to be fresh, they're going to be eager. Glenorchy have had 3 very hard lead-up games. Coach Gary Davison, he'd be a very contented man at the moment, but really I think you'd have to say that North Hobart could just about start unfurling the premiership banner now.
Sure, although I think as you'll see this goal from McQueen, and he kicked a lot of magnificent goals in that second quarter, and this is one of them. He kicked 4, but if I was Gary Davidson, I'd be saying to North Hobart, look, don't think of the premiership yet. You've still got 30 minutes to play, and you've got to continue to play like you've done over the last 3 quarters, and that's part of the play that they've done, and done just so well. Kick those goals scouting from the packs. But I think that's a mistake, Rod. If they think about unfurling the flag now, they've got real problems. They've just got to think of playing the next 30 minutes of play. And if they can do that, they'll do well.
I've listened, people listen to Peter Walsh on the ABC radio, the hyphen.
Interestingly, I was talking to Simon's dad yesterday, Adrian Minton-Connell, who's played football in a lot of clubs, and he said that his children, other children, were going to make a sign, the hyphen, to recognise the ABC's term used for his son.
That's excellent. Yes, well, I'm sure, Jim, while agreeing with you, I'm saying that one can't imagine North Hobart falling into such a big hole that it's going to allow Glenorchy to get up.
I agree. I can't see them doing it. I think Glenorchy really will throw everything at them this quarter. I think they'll realise that the only way they're going to get back into the games by doing the desperate thing, the thing that they think perhaps they can't do. If they do those desperate things, they're the only things that'll lift the Magpie lineup. I can't see them doing it. They've got a couple of good players. Pearce had a magnificent first quarter.
Yes, we're going to see one of his goals here, Jim, and he kicked 4 goals, 2 in that first term, and took some tremendous marks. This is going to come out as a good snap. There's Grace, and now Pearce reading it beautifully and pops it through. And one man that's changed allegiance from North Hobart to Glenorchy, just going out of screen into the bunker, if you like, there was Sutton, and I'm sure he'd be very pessimistic at this stage. And this is what we've seen all year, the togetherness of the North Hobart side, that unity. John Kenny, they went to the Brownlow medal, the William Leach medal count together, and they've stayed together all week.
Yeah, Royce Hart and I disagreed about this. Royce claimed that from his point of view it was wrong to get the fellows to attend things as a group and make them go. I disagreed with him, and I believe now that the teamwork, the comradeship, the solidarity of North Hobart is shown out today, and is shown out in that picture on your screen now.
Just looking at the overall statistics, North Hobart have had 160 kicks, 54 marks, 65. So North Hobart 160 to Glenorchy's 139 in the kick department, 54 to 40 marks, 65 to 59 hand passes. There's Devine. Is he injured? The captain of North Hobart, I think he's carrying an injury, but he'd be a pretty happy man at the moment. Mark Devine.
And also McQueen, Steve McQueen, is back off the ground.
So the third quarter has seen Glenorchy fall further into the mire, and North Hobart look pretty good for the flag in 1987. So the final quarter about to get underway at North Hobart, with North Hobart enjoying a 56-point lead over the Glenorchy side. Very hard for North Hobart to lose the premiership, one would imagine, as umpire Smokey Dawson puts ball to turf for the last 30 minutes of football in season 1987. Noble, hasn't he been a great player since coming on off the interchange bench? That, of course, is Michael Noble, number 6. He's been a fine contributor to the Demon side, puts it out wide, and will find Elmer.
Not that North lack it, but Mike Noble has added even more courage.
So too's Elmer. He's the player that really put them in it in the first quarter and second. Played a great game from the centre. Away though comes Collis to Grace. Grace loves to run with the football, puts it on the ground once. Now kicks about 45 metres. Gooley flies high, tried to punch away. In comes Fletcher. Well, got himself out of trouble well to Curley. The short kick to Ling. Push in the back it should be. Danny Ling, you've got the free kick. Mike Noble, you've done the chastising of yourself. And away, Ling to Linton. Lockley nearly marked. In comes Perry. Elmer. Oh, good play, Mike Elmer. Threaded it out to Moore. Moore has a bit of a run. Little kick long to Sutton. Sutton marks 40 metres away.
Short kick, finds Christensen. Christensen can go in short again to Davies. Davies has killed Mansfield on the wing, hasn't he? Been a great player, Darren Davies, and when looking for best of field in the grand final, it's going to be hard, but gee, I don't think you can go past Darren Davies for consistency, but he kicks in long. A big pack of players there and off hands through for a minor score, but there have been lots of great contributors. Peter Hardman's effort at full forward, John, has been magnificent. He's kicked, 7 goals, 4.
And not only has he kicked 7 goals for, but he's given other goals away, and he has done a fine job, Peter Hardman. Yes, when you're putting together the top 2 or 3 North Hobart players, you'll have to include Darren Davies, and you'll also have to include Peter Hardman.
Gee, they really haven't had a passenger though, John, have they?
Nope.
Everybody's been a good competitor today. Kick out from Collis. Well, the big leap from Maple. He's played well on the Klug as well. Hasn't been a big possession gatherer, Maple, but my word, he's kept John Klug down.
Yes, you people heading out the gates, John. I think they must be Glenorchy supporters.
Yes, I agree with Jimmy. Full credit to Michael Maple, who's done a top job today.
There's John Klug in your screen now. And he gets gives the free kick away. He was holding it, said the umpire. May have been a bit hard.
No, correct decision.
Interesting to see how many kicks John Klug has had, in fact. Whether Jeremy's got a chance to tell us.
Darren Perry. Kicks from about 50 metres out, 55 metres out. Oh, Hardman didn't take the mark. He got first grab. Noble. Handball out to Perry. Perry loses it and then ferrets in for it again. Away comes Webster. He had a magnificent first quarter, but a quiet second and third one. Well, looks like a rugby scrum, doesn't it? The picture tells the story, and it's on in the forward pocket.
And that's one thing that North Hobart should not be doing. Michael Maple should be dragged out of there by his teammates, and whatever happened, forget about it. Yes, and they are dragging him out of it because there was an exchange of fisticuffs there.
No book out.
No. I just make the comment, let's talk about more positive things. John Klug has had 11 kicks. Now, by his high standards, that's a mediocre total for him.
Bounce. At 38 metres out from North Hobart's goal. Shade tries to break through the tackle, gets the hand pass away. Gee, Webster's not too good in the background there. He really copped one. But the umpires were on the scene. One wonders, with the fists that were being thrown there, why the books weren't out. Still, it's another story. Shade over the back to Ling. He gets flattened. Rebounds, I think, into Elmer's face, was it? Moore. Short. Good mark taken by Queen. So Queen on the half-back line goes out wide and will find Bowden.
Bit of evening up, I think, to be done in the last quarter. And that's what's happening out there at the moment. Well, Mathewson flies high. Long kick, which is great play. Man in front's Collis. And strong mark then from Collis. He nearly gave it away.
And Jim, I think the umpires should make sure that although they've done a good job and let the game go, in this last quarter they want to play everything that looks like a free kick. I think that's what they're starting to do now.
Klug staged for the free kick then, John. You were just saying that. That was a bit of acting then, but he got it. Ball with John Klug.
He's graduated from the Billy Pickett Academy, has he?
Into Lovell. He's been a good player for the Magpies. He plays on. Oh, great play, College. Put pressure on him. Lovell's in there again. Shade knocks it to Klug. Klug goes short to his captain, Coach Ling. Ling knocks on. In comes Noble. Been a good, strong player for North. Mathewson, handball to Noy. The loose man's Perry, and the handball finds him. To Hardman. Nearly took the mark. Riley comes out, though, and clears for the Magpies.
Shade on hands and knees, throws it out one-handed to Grace. Grace gets around his opposition in Bush, then drives it long towards centre wing, but Sutton drifting across the pack, plucks in the mark. We've been playing 6 minutes in the last term, 57 points the difference. No way known to the Demons Lane to let this slip. They're desperate. They're going to take it out as Christensen copped a glancing blow. He looks towards umpire Smokey Dawson. He says, Smokey, did you see that? Smokey says, no, I didn't. And I'll have the ball and I'll bounce it.
Darren Perry might have a touch of cramp, which is perhaps not at all surprising given the effort he's put in today.
The crowd, you can hear them trying to spur North on. Obviously a pro-North Hobart crowd as Noy about to take off with the football. has now got to give it back to Darren Perry.
He's had 18 kicks.
Great exhibition by Perry, and he's been a fine finals player, hasn't he? He hasn't put in a bad finals game, Perry. Goes to the lead. The lead's there from Hardman. He takes the mark, and he's had a fine game. He's been injured during the week. He's had plenty of treatment, as Peter Hardman, from a number of sources, and he's pulled up very well indeed. He goes short to Christensen. Over the back, though, was Noble. Holding the ball, on with it, says Smokey Dawson. The free kick, though, going to Mansfield.
Tries to get around Plain, won't do so. Should be penalised, is penalised. And the umpire's right on the spot.
The whistle is gone, but the players aren't taking any notice.
And 15 metres.
That's silly, Michael Webster.
The Magpies, I think, can see the writing on the wall.
Yep.
And, you know, full credit to North Hobart. Their first flag, this will be since 1974. But full marks to Glenorchy, an incredible record. They have only not been in the grand final in 1 year since 1975. Every other, you know, apart from that 1 year, they have played in every grand final. And that is an incredible record.
Yes.
Noy swings it back. Banana job. Wally Banana eats your heart out. And that's through for a full-pointer. And North Hobart's 21st on the board. And the first to Neil Noy.
Yes, and I agree with your comments. We'll see again, Mansfield did get caught. Well, chased down by Bradley Plain. Then there was a bit of pushing and shoving, but eventually Noy realised the whistle had gone, took his kick and put it through. But yes, full marks to Glenorchy. They have been the trendsetters in TFL football, and I think it's some measure of their strength that they have done so well in recent times.
Klug gets collared. Now out comes Michael Noble to Moore. Grace intercepting well. Christensen. Ball doesn't bounce up to him. Now it does. Handball out to Linton. And there's Noble in the way at centre half forward. Make that the half forward flank. David Noble centres it, which is good play. Davies is there, and Davies marks.
He's on a high.
He's had a great game, Darren Davies. That right humour boot of his will just about have a hole in its foot, because he's certainly got a lot of kicks as Darren Davies. Fires for goal. Is it accurate, though? It's not. The minor score.
We get producer John Lapham just to get a shot of the main gates at North Hobart. You, at the 9-minute mark, will be able to see the crowd starting to thread their way home. There they go. And I think quite a few of those will be Glenorchy supporters, realising that it will not be 3 out of 3 and going home to beat the traffic snarl. Here comes Noy. In towards centre half forward. But Klug's there and takes a timely mark in defence. 64 points is the margin in favour of the Demons. Wide centre wing, and the mark, fine mark under extreme pressure to Grace. Now, I bet you in the background there that none of those people in the Ryde Street wing stand. The North Hobart stronghold in the background there will be leaving until well after 6 o'clock tonight.
Well, later than that, Rob, because North are having their celebrations at the ground, so a lot of them won't be going home at all.
Down to the half-forward line where Maple is. In comes Klug to collect the crumbs. He handballed. He thought Mansfield was there. He's got to do it himself now. Well, the Magpies. Is it Pearce? He's down having a run on the ball. Out to Linton. Had a magnificent first quarter, did Gary Linton, and been a good competitor throughout the day. Kicks it to Fletcher. A fine first-year player is Fletcher. On centre wing. Chips one about 15 metres to Curley. Curley takes the mark. Would he be the best player for Glenorchy, Rod Kilner and John Kenny?
Well, I don't know. He's was moved on to Hardman, and Hardman certainly kicked a swag of goals, didn't he? He's got a lot of possessions, and I would still think you'd have to put him in their best. His college goes wide, finds Elmer. But that little stint on Hardman wouldn't have done his fortunes any good, Perry. There's time to almost mentally evaluate the number of options, and then he goes towards Christensen to Plain. The one bounce, the open goal, And another nail in the coffin of the Magpies. The 22nd goal on the board to the Demons and Bradley Plain. That's your fourth.
Well, now it's just a matter of North Hobart virtually doing as they like. Out to Christensen, who finds a yard or two. Bradley Plain, who loves this sort of situation, runs like a startled ferret, does Bradley Plain, and bang, puts it through, as Rod said, his fourth goal.
Steve McQueen coming onto the ground as Perry goes off without his crash hat on. I wonder if he wants people to be able to recognise him for the celebrations after the game.
Bowden kicks long now. Well, mammoth kick by Bowden down into the forward line for the Magpies. The minor score, and is that their first score of the quarter? They had 12-8 at three-quarter time. It is their first score of the quarter. They now go to 12-9 at the 12-minute mark. So it's been a long time between drinks as College goes out to the Ryde Street side where Maple is. He's been one of North Hobart's best. Long kick from him to Plain. Well, the footy beats everybody except Queen. Queen now long handball to Klug. Klug has time to deliver the long kick to the forward line. And there's College. He's been another good player for North. Off to Sutton. The mark taken by Bush. He has one bounce. Now kicks long to the centre. Christensen's there. Punched away by Mansfield. In comes Pearce. Having a run on the ball. Handball, a long one to Bowden. Bowden stands, kicks to the half-forward flank. Sutton over the back. Good mark, Craig Sutton.
The one would think 15-metre penalty.
Yes, once again the frustration, which you can understand.
Oh, yes, it'd be a big disappointment, no doubt, in the Magpie camp. Shade, fine mark. That'd almost be his first mark for the day, wouldn't it? We'll check that. It is Shade's first mark for the day. On to Bowden. Bowden in towards centre half forward. Over the back. Comes to Styles, dispossessed. Noble battling on. Cleverly taps it out. Where's the rebound gone? It's gone to Lovell, though. Lovell can chip it in towards Curley. And Roland Curley can perhaps write his name into the record books as a goal kicker. In the 1987 Grand Final, his chances are increased as a 15-metre penalty is imposed against College. And Roland to Curley can come in really acute angle, 60-degree angle. 30 metres out from goal, and he kicks a goal. That's the first for the Magpies in the final term. And to their credit, the Magpies will fight this game out to the bitter end. Only 14 minutes gone in the final term, but it's really an academic exercise now.
Yes, I think it was very appropriate, that goal kicked by Roland Curley. Perhaps Glenorchy might not get too many more. It was good play by Andy Lovell, who spun out of the pack, got it to Curley, and with the aid of a 15-metre penalty, a man who has done such magnificent work for Glenorchy over so many years and really has to rate as one of the best defenders that TFL football has ever produced.
Klein gets the head out. Drags Pearce off the footy. Kick off the ground. It was from Shade. In there's Noble. Handball's a good one to Maple. Maple has time to have a look upfield. Kicks long to Christensen, who takes a good mark. He wants to go on with it quickly. Kicks long from about 45 metres out. Safety is the behind, thought Chris Riley, and that's where he punched it. And John Kenny, North, or should I say Glenorchy, have only kicked 3 goals in the last half of play.
Prophetic words there. Davo's dazzling Demons going all the way in 87, and they'll be glad that their wishes have come true.
I'm pleased to see Chris Riley back on the ground because he went off earlier in the game with what looked like a nasty cut. He's obviously okay.
Mansfield will get a 15-metre penalty and another 15-metre penalty. Now, Peter Hardman, you've won the game. That's stupid.
That is very silly. You could understand Glenorchy play, and this is even silly. Now, Peter Hardman walk away.
Meanwhile, play goes on up to centre wing. Curley takes the mark, goes inboard into the centre to find Collis. Collis, tried to play on. Well done, Elmer. Did brilliantly and then smothers the ball up. And umpire Kelly comes in for the bounce. And Mick Elmer, you did exceptionally well on that occasion. You've done exceptionally well all day.
He'll be one of the first players picked, I think, at North Hobart, Mick Elmer. He really is a consistent player, a bit like the Greg Farquhar, or in the Greg Farquhar mould of Clarence. Picked up by Collis, kicks long to the half-forward line. Good punch then from Gooley. Good disciplined play by him. Gets it to Bush. Here goes Bradley Plain. 2 very quick players, Plain and Grace. Plain gets to the ball first, but not before the boundary line.
Not a bad one in the jet stream either, Davies.
No, it'll be interesting to see who you put your money on if you line them up and saw the finish line 100 metres away. Plain gets the kick now, though. High in the air, Klug in the way on the half-back flank.
Well, 16 minutes gone of the final term, and it's, as we say, just purely an exercise in that you have to play 25 minutes plus time on. I'm sure even Danny Ling would concede defeat at this stage of the game. He wouldn't mind coming off as Gooley takes the mark, inboard, and finds Mathewson. Mathewson will be pleased to be able to sip something nice from the Premiership Cup, won't he?
Yes, and the travel from Queenstown and back again will be well worth it in another 15 minutes or so.
Elmer spins out of trouble, bombs it up towards the full forward line, thumped away by Riley, but only as far as Christensen, who is lucky to get a free kick, but the advantage will paid. And Maple, watch your left foot snap like, son. Not real bad, is it? Thank you very much. Ride Street erupts. And 17 and a quarter minutes gone. Michael Maple says, Gary Davison, I'm just going to show you my versatility for season 1988.
He's made a habit of doing this in the two finals in which North have played. The second semi and the grand final has a Michael Maple with a couple of goals on the board in the second semi as Bradley Plain goes off the ground. Coach Gary Davison, he's not giving it yes. There's a sly, wry smile there. And he's waiting until it's over. That's what coaches have to do.
Here goes Elmer again. They've got it out of the centre well today, North. Across to Moore. Moore to the half-forward flank. Devine's there. So too Queen. And Queen takes the mark, and he's going to get 15 metres as well.
I wonder if the captain was injured. Back on the ground now.
Yes, he's been carrying an injury all week, as Mark Devine.
Amazing how Jim Wilkinson comes up with all these snippets of information after it'll do us any good.
Can't
Great man to have on the payroll, isn't he?
Can't give away professional secrets, Jim. That's it, isn't it?
That's the way. He's a professional too, isn't he, Gary Linton?
Yeah, he's battled well, Super.
Out to Bowden. Bowden saw the opening, thought he was going to continue on through the open gate, but decided to stop and go back for a kick. And I can see why, because he's only 40 metres from goal.
Great one for soliciting information. Here's Jim Wilkinson. Super Linton, 20 kicks. Not a bad effort, is it?
And this kick from Bowden, covering plenty of territory, touched right on the line then by Minton Connell. It looked a token gesture, didn't it? Minton Connell putting his hand up to touch it through. Another minor score. 13-10 playing 23-19. It's a Demon flag in 87.
Had to kick in. That's Elmer. And a 15-metre penalty. And another 15-metre penalty. Elmer puts it up into the centre of the ground. Sutton, backing back, takes a nice mark. On to Davies. One bounce, makes a bit of a mess of it. Has time to recover. Drives it up over the head of Hart. Mr. Magic, you're in a corner. Can you get out? No, but you get a tackle too high.
Got one too then, Steve McQueen. Got one high.
Which means that it's as good as getting out of a corner, only a little bit harder to take. It's a hard way of doing it. He's got his helmet back on.
He put his helmet back on, and it was just as well he did. And waving an admonitory figure was Steve McQueen.
And he moves 35 metres out. He'd like to nail this one home, but he's sprayed it a little bit. The 20th behind on the board for North Hobart. And 20 minutes gone of the final term. 158-88. And if my maths is right, that's a whopping 70-point margin. The Shade takes his second mark for the day.
Well, he's going to give the free kick away. Really, it's foolish to do that at this time of the proceedings. Kicks out towards Grace. Grace runs past that Ride Street stand. Now tries to get around Gooley, but can't. Handballs to Ling. Ling goes short. The mark taken by Fletcher. Fletcher goes back now from 40 metres away. Ling in the picture with his hands on hips. He goes short though to Curley. Can Rolly Curley kick his second? He started up on the half-back line, moved to the forward line. He's already kicked one. He's certainly going to get the distance. He could just about kick it onto the Brooker Highway from there. He's only 30 metres from goal. Kick from Curley. The goal umpire doesn't move. Right through the middle. Roland Curley second. But he's played a great game today, and this is how it was done.
Yes, and Roland Curley, the man I was talking about a moment ago, he ends up kicking his second goal, and really, I guess this will be his last game for Glenorchy, and I can only repeat the comment I made earlier. Not only will he go out of football as one of Glenorchy's greats, he will go out as one of TFL football heroes.
Shade down to Linton. Linton up towards centre half forward, but the Demons back in numbers. It's Matheson. Pushed further wide by Bush. Sutton goes across goals. You can be cheeky when you're that far in front, can't you? And he finds Minton Connell on the boundary line. Minton Connell, a little chip into Perry. Probably breaking almost every rule that Gary Davison has hammered into them all year. But you can afford to do it with 10 minutes to go in a grand final when you are so well on top. And look at Darren Davies' face. He's copped one. Bloodied, but victorious, I think, as the saying goes. Shea for Noy over the top, and Noy takes the mark. Quickly on to College. Tips it in short, finds Devine.
Devine was thinking about playing on in the north. Thought against it and kicks in the Hardman direction. Punched away. Out comes Klug again. Klug going towards Shade and Mansfield. Mansfield the better position. But he's got to get the 15-metre penalty as well. Shade wanting to go on with it. So too Christensen in there. And really it's stupid doing this at this time of the day. The game's over for the Magpies.
And there's a nice shot of the wear that you wear under a pair of very tight shorts there. Mark Devine, he's been a little cheeky late in the day, isn't he? Yeah. A cheeky chap. Mark Devine, gone to the old days of the old equipment that you used to wear, Jim Wilkinson.
It's always the same equipment there, Rod. Down to the half-forward line is the football. Out to Ling. Ling to centre-half forward. Minton Connell's there, so too Gooley. Styles, has he got the free kick? He has. Rod Kilner.
Jim Wilkinson, you're going very red in the face there. I didn't think we had that much sun coming into the box. Right, there's the free kick. Styles. He'll be kicking from about 40 metres out, won't he? You see the 40-metre line there. There's the kick, drop punt kick. That looks pretty good. And full marks to the Magpies. They're really fighting this game out when lesser combinations would perhaps have chucked in the towel, John, and said, well, we can't win it. Let's just try and bury our heads and forget about it. They're fighting it out to the finish. Yeah,
it's true, and it's particularly impressive as far as I'm concerned that some of the younger players, as well as the more experienced ones, are fighting on. And Michael Stiles is a fine example. Obvious trip there, and he gets the free kick, finishes off well. But also Andy Lovell, and the experience will do these young fellows a world of good. And when Glenorchy front up again next year, as I'm sure they will be one of the threats again, then these fellows will be all the better for this experience. Mind you, if you've been with Glenorchy very long, you've had a lot of finals experience already, haven't you?
My word, you have. That's, you know, whilst you sympathise for the Glenorchy fans and the players, it's good for football, Jim, to have a side that hasn't won since '74 coming in and taking out the flag.
Sure, I can remember that game vividly too, Rod, because I was playing for the losing team, Sandy Bay, and so certainly can remember North winning and winning well. And that's what they're doing again today as Bush leads in the race for the ball, but I think he's going to be happy to just escort it over the line. Yeah,
Jim, I suppose one problem is the way Ross Christensen going off the ground. Big Spider Klein comes on. There's Ross Christensen. He's done his job, as have all his teammates. I was going to say, Jim, I suppose a problem in a way today that apart from the Glenorchy supporters, most other people here would have liked to have seen North win, as they are going to see them win, in fact.
Sure, I think they've done it well, haven't they, throughout the year. They've only lost 2 home and away games. They won the second semi-final well and therefore had to start favourites in today's game, as the tempo of the game really has quietened down, hasn't it? But Elmer hasn't. He's been a good player for 4 quarters. Kicks to Maple. He's been another 4-quarter player. Has a look upfield. Kicks long to centre half forward. Hardman's there. Can't mark it. Out comes Noble. That's David Noble. Has a snap. Queen's in the box seat to take the mark. Fine chest mark, Matthew Queen.
He's been a good batter.
I was just going to say, he's been a player that's given everything for Glenorchy today. Matthew Queen has done well.
Kicks out to the halfback flank. Linton tops the mark, is paid, allowed to go on. 10, 7 and 6 stats for Queen. Mathewson caught. 10 marks, 10 kicks, 7 marks, 6 handballs. And Minton Connell, who's got on top of David Pearce after that first term, although one must hasten to add that Pearce hasn't really had all that much opportunity. Minton Connell takes the hand pass back. Good play. Follows up, finds Maple. Maple on in front of the Ryde Street stand. The patrons that are seated in the Ryde Street stand just to the left of the players there will be very happy to cheer their champions on as the ball rolls over the line.
Danny Ling just went out of shot then. I wonder if this will also be his last game.
I would think it would be. I think Danny would call it quits after this.
Klein got the kick, only to see Linton in the way. Linton towards Ling. Punched away though. Will make that Bowden. Out comes Bush once more. And Bush runs it into that Ryde Street stand. And just have a look at them rising to their feet and really relishing this moment. Klein, the tap. Shade picks up the possession though, kicks towards Curley. Curley goes on with it across to Fletcher. Fletcher the short pass to Pearce. Pearce kicked 4 goals in that same fashion in the first quarter. He led out. The ball was kicked out in front of him and he just ran right onto the football on 3 occasions to kick 3 of his first 4 goals. Now he's kicking for it at the other end of the game. Kicks truly. That's his 6th goal, and he also, John Kenny's been a good player for Glenorchy and had a fine season after coming back after injury.
Yes, and when Glenorchy moves the ball like that, and David Pearce has the opportunity to slip away from Minton Connell, and you can guarantee he'll mark it, and you can guarantee with equal surety he'll finish off with a goal. Yes, it's been a good duel between the two of them, in fact, although David Pearce has kicked 6 goals. Simon Minton Connell, much to his credit, came back after the first quarter and really got on top. So honours fairly even with the two of them.
Yeah, 6-4 is not a real bad effort, though, is it? No. From a full forward in a losing side, with the opportunities that Pearce has had, as opposed to Hardman, who's kicked 7-4. And that sort of puts that in a little bit of perspective, doesn't it? As Elmer bursts out of the centre. It's all the Magpies. Webster comes steaming through, but Noyes steals it. That's cheeky, out wide to McQueen. Well done to Balcom, he gets a trip, but Noyes there to butter up again. Puts it onto the left boot. Up wide, up one-handed was Mansfield. Queen in there. Gets the hand pass out towards Riley. He can go again towards Collis. Collis tries to chip it over the top towards Webster. Devine trying to gather it in. Now Perry threads it out, but straight to Mansfield and says, thanks very much. Why didn't you do that earlier in the game? Then it comes further afield to Lockley. Cleverly tapped over by Lovell towards Lockley, but nothing will go right for the Magpies. And you can see by the look on Lyndon Lockley's face there as the photographers, cameramen and everyone are now, with 29.5 minutes gone to the final quarter, poised around Gary Davison to capture that moment of elation when the siren sounds. Mathewson, hands, knees, and there you can see the box, and there you can see the cameraman all around, all waiting to catch Gary Davison as soon as that siren sounds.
Big punch. There's the siren, as Rod said. And just feast your eyes on North Hobart. What a victory, North. 23-21, 5-8. Glenorchy 16-10, 106. And there's the coach.
Gary Davison there, victorious coach. Victor Di Venuto, the reserves coach. A very satisfied and happy man would Gary Davison be as our roving eye. And that's what we're going to have. Don't turn off the sets yet, because there are plenty of celebrations yet to come, and you're going to be part of them on ABC television. Our roving eye out there, and we'll have our men in Bruce Greenhill and also Peter Walsh out there. But look at that picture. The picture tells the story, and there's the Ryde Street stand. They've had nothing to celebrate since 1974. And I notice with interest, John Kenny, while we just sit back and look at the elation and the spoils of victory, let's bear a thought for the Glenorchy players as they went their way off the ground, a very disappointed lot. But fitting that as Gary Davison gets hoisted aloft there, that Mark Devine, the captain of North Hobart, his father John Devine, now coach of Geelong and coach of that last premiership side, is here to see that Ryde Street stand, and that must bring back many happy memories for him.
Sure it does. But before we say anything else, let me agree with what you were mentioning. First of all, about Glenorchy, let me pay tribute to Glenorchy. The celebrations, quite rightly, are North's, but commiserations to Glenorchy. They have been the power of TFL football. They couldn't make it 3 in a row, but as I said, they'll be back strong as ever next year, and they fought the game out well. It was brilliant football, particularly the second quarter. It was played in a fine spirit, and North Hobart, now premiers for the first time in 13 years, richly deserve it.
Yes, certainly is. And we're just looking down there at the scene, and Peter Walsh, you can see in camera there, Bruce Greenhill. And now let's go down to Peter Walsh as he talks to the victorious coach, Gary Davison.
Wear that smile and wear it proudly. Congratulations, Gary. A wonderful performance by North Hobart. There might be some proud people in Tasmania. You've got to be the proudest. Well done.
Thank you very much. No, we've got a good, hard-working club, and these guys really showed it all today. Very happy.
You've worked hard for it. The success hasn't come easy. It's been right from the word go when you were appointed. You've put it together. You've got 20 fellas out there who really worked their butts off for the North Hobart club this afternoon.
Just had a red-hot go. They just stuck to what we've done all year. They worked really hard on and off the field, and you know, they're probably one of the best groups of people I've ever worked with.
Gary, get over it and savour the flavour. You enjoyed. Thanks very much. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much, Peter Walsh. As Gary Davison there, and it looked pretty emotional, Gary Davison there, Jim.
Sure, I think it's obviously a fairly moving moment for him, because really North at the start of the year, a lot of people said they weren't going to go well under him, and they looked for another coach. But really Gary Davison has shown everyone what a great coach he is, and I think congratulations to him. A tremendous effort to bind the team that he has got together and finish up with a premiership. I think it's a tremendous effort, and congratulations to him and the North Hobart team.
Yeah, during the call of the game, I think at three-quarter time when the players were in the huddle, I made the same comment about how he has melded those young fellows and the older fellows in the team into a tightly knit group. And it was evident in the lead up to the final and their activities of those young fellows out there who have presented themselves so well today owe a lot to Gary Davidson.
Yes, well, certainly now as they gather around for the presentations, we're hoping to get hold of Mark Devine, but let's just have a look at those celebrations. Gary Davison, Michael Elmer, and he deserves congratulations, doesn't he? But it was a real team effort by the North Hobart side this afternoon. Let's cross down to the Oval for an interview with Mark Devine.
Skipper, your dad was here watching. You're a proud man. Congratulations, Mark, on a wonderful achievement for the North Hobart club.
Yes, it's a credit to all the fellas, you know, and it's just so great.
The celebrations will come thick and fast. You've got a lot of celebrating to do. Yeah. Go and enjoy it. Well done.
Mark Devine talking to Peter Walsh. And there they are. Look at this, the crew, the team there. And, gee, I wonder whether they can almost believe it. And I'm sure the Ryde Street stand won't have seen anything like this for a long time. There's President of the League, Mr. David Smith, and the trophy. There, the Premiership trophy to be held aloft. There's Chris Boys from North Hobart. He's a very proud man to receive the trophy, and as a president he must have done a lot of work. And here comes the coach of the side, Gary Davidson. And let's just acknowledge the people. Mark Devine, the captain, Gary Davison, the victorious coach, and that won't be an empty cup for very long, will it? Congratulations as Mark Devine responds, and gee, he must be proud, the dad, mustn't he? He must be a very proud man down there, and you can see in the foreground our burrower for information and interviews, Peter Walsh. He's just about ready to talk to Peter Hardman, the star full forward from North Hobart. 7 goals, 4 to Peter Hardman. Let's see what he's got to say to Peter Walsh.
Peter, what a day to turn it on. How many goals did you finish up kicking?
7, I think.
Tremendous performance. You just had it today. The confidence was there.
Yes, it just came. You know, and I knew we were really confident before the start. I knew we could win this, and it just all fell together. My game and our team game.
A touch of magic by you, a personal performance, and the right time of the year to turn on a super performance.
That's all it counts, isn't it? Win the grand final.
I bet it is. Go and accept your medallion. Congratulations on a fine display, Peter. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Yes, well done, Peter Hardman. Let's look at them as they go up there. Michael Noble, who did such a tremendous job when coming onto the ground. And look at Mark Devine. Yeah. He's delighted in introducing the team. Darren Perry coming forward. And really, as you look at the names that are read out and look at the players that go up there, not one was a passenger. They all contributed. There's Michael Elmer, the ex-North Launceston player. Gary Davison, is he wiping away tears, John Kenny?
I think he was blowing the nose, but I think that's caused by lumps in the throat, I think.
Yes, a sort of unobtrusive scratch of the nose. Sutton, another great player today.
Yes, they didn't have a weak link, as Jimmy Wilkinson said. They all did their job.
And
Buzzy Davies.
What a great game he played, and I think could well get the nod for BOG.
Played a great game, didn't he, Davies? He really drove them into attack time and again. But for mine, I'd probably go for Elmer. Elmer and Davies, I think, on a par for best on the ground.
I went the other way. I went Davies first, Elmer second.
David Noble just up there before. Let's just give these guys the recognition, because it's the end of the season, isn't it? They fought for it. The Hyphen, is he going to be playing in Melbourne next year?
Yes, with topside Carlton.
Don't throw too early, John Kenny. Remember what happened after you won the second semi-final last year. That's all I'll say. Lee College, who comes to accept his medallion. David Gourley, many thought would not be fit to take his place in the game, did, and once again performed exceptionally well with a key link. And the man who kicked 7 goals for. 1 in the first quarter, 4 in the second quarter, 2 in the third. As you see the medallions dangling. And Parker there, the man handing them out. Ross Christensen played a great game for a guy that can't run out of sight on a dark night. He's played pretty well this year, hasn't he? And here comes Hollywood. That's what he looks like without his crash helmet, North Hobart fans. Hollywood McQueen, and a fair bit of interest shown in McQueen from mainland clubs. Terry Moore.
He's a fellow who's impressed me, Terry. Left the club a couple of years ago, went overseas, and really perhaps left on a downer, but he's come back and has done well.
Neil Noy, the other helmeted member of the winning trio, he's still got his in hand. He's not going to lose it because he thinks he might need it for next year. So Mark Devine again saying to Bradley Plain, well done. And Mark Devine, I don't know whether he's used to holding a microphone in the hand, but he's certainly enjoying it, and I think they're going to be hard to get it off him as Gary Davison, the coach, the victorious coach, takes it out. Just looking quickly at the stats for the game. It's 215 kicks to North Hobart, to Glenorchy's 188, 83 marks to 62, and 80 hand passes to 75. And there is a moment that you dream about. Holding the trophy aloft, and now they will go for their lap of honour, the glory, what they've been working for all season, a dream. Jim Wilkinson had dreams of getting caught before you could kick the goal, and now they go around. But let's cross down to one of the men instrumental in it. Peter Walsh talking to David Gourley.
This afternoon it was hurly-durly. Look out for David Gourley. What a time to turn on a performance. You might have been a little worried coming back after injury. Well played today.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, the team did well. We knew if we ran well and did all the things we had to do, we'd win. It's just good to win it.
You had the confidence right from the word go. You got a few early grabs, and that seemed to make the difference with all players.
Yeah, we started well, and then we just kept rolling. We knew we had to just run them off their legs after the hard games last week, so it was good to win.
Wear that medal proudly. You've got a bit of catching up to do. Your teammates are around by the scoreboard, but can you find enough wind to chase them after running all day?
Yeah, I've got a bit left.
Good on you, David. Well played. Congratulations. Thanks.
Peter Walsh, the inimitable Peter Walsh. Hurly-durly, look out for Gourley. And Peter Walsh was right.
And Jim Wilkinson, what a job David Gourley did today. He was given the key task of playing at centre-half back and did it extremely well.
The thing that impressed me, I think we mentioned it, John, didn't we, through the broadcast? We said he's a one-grab player, and he was just so positive in what he did today. And really, I thought he played a magnificent game, but then again, so too did North Hobart. There's a fellow with the cup now, Michael Maple, should I say, played a super game for
his job. in fact, of course, that really is the difference, because all those young fellows there did their job. It was a great team effort, and in the end, of course, that was the difference.
Yes, it's great there to go around, the plaudits of the crowd, and here comes the obligatory contents of the cup. They can't get the top off. It's been welded down. They can't do it, but it doesn't matter.
Well, Michael Noble's got the champagne, so he said, well, fellows, have a champagne shower.
Policemen looking very sternly at them, but they're not supposed to drink. They might have a no drinking rule on North Hobart, but I'm sure that's going to be waived for this afternoon. And look at them going around there, and North Hobart people, I bet there's a lot of old timers there, and they'd be very happy to see what Steve McQueen, Hollywood McQueen, thinks about the game.
The battered body of Steve McQueen. Steve, you've got a few bruises, but I'm sure it's all worthwhile as you savour the flavour of a sensational performance by the Demons.
Yeah, it really was a great effort. You know, we were down in the first quarter, we come back, it's just unbelievable. Bruises don't hurt so much now.
From a personal point of view, you lit up the scoreboard with that exciting play in the second term, and that was the quarter, of course, 11 goals. It must have been an enormous feeling at half-time to know that you had the game by the scruff of the neck.
Oh, yeah, it was. Dave asked us for an extra effort. The four of us up the forward line, Ross, Peter, Bradley, myself, asked us for extra effort, and we tried to give it to him, so...
Tremendous. Well done, and I'm sure celebrations will start from tonight, Steve. An excellent performance. Congratulations on your game.
Thanks very much.
Well, we trust as you see the celebrations of the North Hobart, justified celebrations, that you've enjoyed our live coverage of the football, and well, there it is in the rooms, a very happy situation. But we're going to show you the second quarter and the last quarter, because the second quarter was one of the best you'll ever see. On behalf of everyone here, hope you enjoyed it. Let's go to the second quarter of the TFL Grand Final.
Can you come in and be careful of that sun, yeah?